30, 20, 10, retard, retard, retard.
Hey, good evening everyone and welcome. First of all, big thank you to Chris Clark coming in with a 9 months resub on YouTube. Thank you so much, Chris. I hope you're doing well. You're saying you're in for the stream tonight. Lovely, working on some CAD stuff at home. So watching along while I do that. Hope you're well. I'm well, thank you for asking, Chris. I hope everything's good with you and your loved ones.
Premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Diego, good evening to you as well. And Avenger Ryan coming in next with a resub also to you. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers
we
please
have
make
a
their way
YouTube
to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks
here.
and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Right. I try to do 3 things at once at the same time, which usually goes wrong. I am frantically trying to get onto VATSIM.
The Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience.
So that I
Could new
can
subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin
find a
where
free parking spot here, but I need to file the flight plan first.
Flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
So, next in line was Nick Fuchs coming in with 9 months resub. Nick, thank you so much for your support. Guten Abend. Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. And then next in line was Holger Teutsch. Holger, thank you so much for the 3 months.
Twitch channel subscriber
I hope you're doing well.
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served.
And Twitch as well. Lots of resubs coming in. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll get to the messages in a second, but they should be read out. Stepke, was your message read out? Oh, it wasn't, was it? Hang on. Let me see what happened there. Oh no, that's just a message. Sorry, I have to get used to that boxed message. Stepke, thank you so much. And JSnap just coming in now with a resub.
The Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment
64
will be
months,
served.
good lord.
Thank you.
JSnap, that is incredible. 64. So yeah, JSnap, I had chatted with you a little bit regarding shared flight, and I'm excited for it. I know that it's going to be ready in the near future, so yeah, really looking forward to it. Right, let me just see if I can get connected to VATSIM, and so I do fear that there's going to be someone flying along. It said command failed. Make sure that there's a flight plan loaded. I did. Huh? Hold on. Is that a new thing? Do I need to file it or have a flight plan loaded on vPilot? Nah. Let me just file that again. Flight plan is filed. Alright, not trying to fall behind all of the messages. Thank you so much as well to Hans939 coming in with the 2 months. Hans, welcome back to you as well. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Runa, hello. Philip, hello to you as well. That is weird. What's happening?
Welcome aboard the
let me try to get a different
experience. Could new subscribers please make
let me get a
way
different
to the first class cabin
network
where complimentary
in this
drinks,
case.
snacks
Let me
and
go
premium flight
here.
entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Let me see if that works. No.
Thank you for 5 years of insight into the world of aviation and your friendship. Enjoyed every minute except when you shout at me.
Hey, what? Oh, come on, Mark. That only happened maybe once or twice. 3 times max. Oh, I love that message. Thank you, Mark, my dear friend. Thank you so much for your friendship. Thanks for all the amazing support that you've shown here as a moderator, as a friend, and as a financial supporter. Let me just kill that mosquito here. Thank you so much. Right. Okay, I've connected to VATSIM. So yeah, restarting everything has worked. Right. So we're now just spawning in lots of traffic. So this is the handcrafted Asobo Frankfurt one, but I have installed something with the taxi lines. So there's a couple of things that were done there. And I have actually installed FSLTL now. So these model matching are, oh, what a beauty. Man, what a beauty. Right. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right now, though, it is a bit laggy here in Frankfurt, but we'll see how it goes later on. But of course, it's busy. It's Friday, or Frankfurt Friday, so we'll see. Yes, so I have a deluxe version from Microsoft Flight Sim, yeah, and this was a handcrafted one that came with the deluxe version here. So cool. Right, so once again, thanks so much for the amazing support, everyone. And here comes Luke. Hello, Luke. How are you doing?
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Luke.
Hey, Black Box. Hope you are well.
Thank you much.
ED711 beloved.
Yeah, thank you so much, Luke. I am well. How are you doing? And thank you for 29 months here on Twitch. Thank you so much. Alrighty. Now, let me see the chat, because at the moment, what I can see with the chat, it kind of has boxes around it. So chat highlights, isn't it? Hang on. So well, we'll see. All right, we'll see how that goes. Cool. We are flying from Frankfurt to Sarajevo. So it is a real-world routing. Now, Sarajevo, for many airlines, is an airport that is limited to not only CM1, hey Fly Lilo, but also is limited to having pilots some extra training for it. So they get a kind of a special company license to fly in and out of Sarajevo, because it is a bit special. I have prepared a little workshop file. See if that comes up here. It does. So I have prepared a little workshop file. It's in the announcement channel if you're flying along, or if you want to fly to Sarajevo at some point and you want to have some infos. We'll go through that during the flight. Some special things. It's a very interesting airport. Definitely challenging. So definitely something for us to do today. The plan for today is 2 flights. So we're going to fly from Frankfurt to Sarajevo, and then we go to the Vancouver airport and fly to Ketchikan on the 737, that is, later on. So let's load the flight plan and let's get the show going. Fly now. Right. So, anything new in the flight sim world? Any new flight sim drama? Hey, Andreas. What do you mean last minute plan change? What was the original plan then, Andreas? Did I announce something else and I forgot? I hope not. Wow, it is laggy here in Frankfurt. GG. So let's go. Hot air balloon released. I think I'll leave that to the pro hot air balloon pilots. I'm extremely impatient. I did not announce East Midlands. That I would remember. That I would definitely remember. Right, let's go flight in here. And Sapphire Wave, hello to you. How you doing? Oh no, so Andreas, I had to get things installed for the Frankfurt scenery, and then I was busy this afternoon. We had to do some stuff at home, and so that's why maybe the announcement of the Frankfurt flight was a bit later, yeah. But it was announced at some point. So let's tap import, but I want to be departing at 1500 UTC. Oh, actually, let me just do something here. Let me go ahead and put this to 42 at least. So the thing is that Sarajevo has some night restrictions. So there's a couple of things at night time in Sarajevo which are not that favorable. So that's why we're flying daytime. So let's go 1500 update. There we go. So, oh yeah, 17 minutes. Disregard. No. So we want to go 1515, let's say. Update. That's better. Half an hour. Half an hour should be doable. Thank you so much for the hype train. Thank you so much, everyone, for the support. Some cool emotes. Right, so ground service. Here comes GSX. Now I have updated GSX today. You kept having difficulties learning flows. Any suggestions? Take them bit by bit. So obviously, I'm sure you have some documents. That's something I would do, and then.
Refueling truck is on its way.
Yeah, just don't overdo things.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives. And
try to, one thing at a time. So when you feel like, you're kind of missing too many things. Oh, you got your ATC 1 sim. What? Oh, so real life. Okay. Well, don't get worked up too much about it, because you're not the only one that has issues maybe getting used to all the procedures. Airline transition course, yeah. Yeah, okay, so did you get a poster with all, the cockpit layout, so the cockpit switches and buttons and so on? And so that's what I did at the beginning. However, if you have a flight sim, like this one here, it's actually a really good method to go through. Yeah, and the FENIX, yeah. So just rehearse, just keep going through it. You have your FCOM, and just keep continuing going through the procedures. Trust me, nobody's perfect. Nobody knows everything right from the start, and don't despair. Just keep on grinding through it, and as you go through these things more and more often, it'll get more and more natural, and then the flows will stick with it at some time. Yeah. Hey, nice, Lilo. Where are you going to? Cool. Right. So here we go. So the alternate is Zagreb, and we're called Lufthansa 1544. Cost index, according to the flight plan, is so PP, always try to maintain a positive attitude. And again, I know for me it's easy to say because I've had many transitions in my life. I've had so many sim checks in my life. I can look back on a long career and I could be a bit more relaxed about things, of course. But I know the feeling. I know when I was young and I was getting worked up about these topics, difficult to compare yourself with what others are capable of doing, and it's difficult for you to always try to. Actually, sorry guys, I'm dropping some frames. It seems like at the moment. I do apologize for that. I hope that's going to be getting better. Let's just hope that it's not a Windows update. Although I did pause the Windows updates. We'll see. All right. So the cost is 10. And they're sending you to Vietnam for type rating. Okay, well, that's exciting. Well, there's a lot of things happening then in your life. That sounds good. 370 is initially planned. Now, I do fear that it may be a bit high for today's weight, but we'll see. So minus 56 up there. And the trouble pause is at at 39,000 feet initially. So let's put 39 in here. Cool. The planned weight. And Dilo, you're going from Genoa, Munich, Paris. Oh, wow, it's a lot. Wow. There's a lot of flights. But interesting that you're going northbound towards Munich first, then to Marseille, and then to... Is that Marrakesh? Interesting routing. Right. So we've got...
Fuel truck is in position.
Fuel truck. I keep wondering how to do this. So 58.6. The fuel is 6.7 for block fuel. So let's put that in there. So what I can do then is, wow, it's so laggy. I didn't realize Frankfurt would be so bad on performance. Blimey. So let's go. Hey Krishu, how you doing? Welcome. Mass and balance. So let's load the aircraft and do that real time. Look at all these aircraft in here. That's why it's so laggy, because we've got so many aircraft. Right, looks like now he's starting to fuel, which is nice. Yeah, no, so the upload rate has normalized, and yeah, I'm not dropping any frames anymore, so it seems to be good.
Fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
Yeah, but I could just see that, yeah, looking around, it is a bit laggy. I don't think that's going to get better until we leave Frankfurt. It's weird that, yeah, that we haven't seen any other add-on maker come out. I mean, there is handcrafted Microsoft airports out there, and still we see some other add-on maker come out and produce their own version. So that's for the pricing, Lilo. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Good. The alternate fuel. Let me do this then. Whoops. What happened there? How come everything's resized? So let's use this one here. So the alternate is Zagreb, and we may need 1.4 tons of fuel for that. So 1.4. That goes in there. So I did take a bit of extra fuel, planning with about a ton of extra fuel. That's good for one go around in Sarajevo, so we may as well have that. Estimate takeoff weight is 65.1. Regarding weather now, JSnap actually made a good point. He said on live streams you rarely see people go through the weather forecasts. So let's quickly fill us in what the weather is like in Sarajevo at the moment. Variable 1 knot of wind, which is good. Cab OK, which is also good. 15 degrees and a QNH 1024. The forecast for later it remains the same, and it's only tomorrow morning they expect 2 kilometers, some mist, and broken 200 feet. So the forecast is fine for us tonight. I don't expect any issues there. The alternate right now, same thing. Cavalcade 17 degrees. Now the spread, if I look at that kind of spread, 5 degrees, it's wide enough, so I don't expect any fog right now. However, of course, later during the nighttime, in the morning maybe, when the normal temperature cools down, and there we have it. So from midnight onwards, Zagreb is expecting fog. So vertical visibility 200 feet fog and 30 tempo from 6 onwards, getting better again, 3 kilometers mist, broken 300. And then from 8 UTC onwards, cavalcade again. So typical kind of autumn weather where you have some early morning mist or fog. Frankfurt is actually very stable, and they're not really expecting anything tomorrow morning there. Wind uplink isn't normal that only climb. Well, sometimes it depends on the cruise phase. If the cruise phase, Andreas, is very short, then you may not have a cruise wind uplink. But normally, if you have, like me, for example, a nicer cruise section, then yeah, it does load the cruise winds as well. Hey, EdForce5, nice to see you. How you doing? So, let's see. Weather charts. So, weather charts. So, the vertical profile. Tropopause is above us, so there shouldn't be any turbulence. You can see terrain there that we cross. And we have some tailwind towards Sarajevo. And we can see that here. That's level 340. Yeah, well, it's more cross than tail, but it's a little bit of tailwind going towards Sarajevo. And there's the alternate Zagreb. So all good on that front. Hey, Jesus, a good question. So what do you brief with colleagues at the briefing room before walking to the aircraft? Now, it depends. So usually we only have a briefing room at the home base. So literally we brief mostly on board the aircraft, unless we start our duty at home base. And there we have a dispatch center where we meet. It's pretty much the same thing. So whatever we do here in the aircraft, especially now with the EFB, that's what we actually go through in the briefing room at our company. So there isn't really much difference. The only difference is then after you finish your flight planning and you order the fuel value, then you go and meet the cabin crew normally. So they have a certain room that you go to, and there's a cabin crew who've performed their briefing, and then we join them and do a joint briefing. Then once that's finished, we go out to the aircraft. But like I said, normally when we are in a night stop or so, and then the next morning or next day when we go and get to the aircraft, that's when we get the papers, documents, and then that's where we do our briefing in the cockpit then. Will you upgrade your GPU to the 4000 series? Diego, at the moment, I am thinking more about upgrading the CPU. Because for me, the CPU is actually, here in Microsoft Flight Sim, the more limiting factor. So that's why I'd rather go and upgrade the CPU. Yes, I am on YouTube, Ben. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see that I'm streaming there. And Twitch is just a restream. So currently, let's go get the ATIS. ATIS offline. Okay, so officially Frankfurt opens at 1800 UTC, but on vPilot I do get an ATIS. Let me just get 22.8 in here. Right, so at the moment I can see that we've got Kinich 1020. Yeah, Lilo, I did have the freeware version. I tried it out today, but it did not look that nice. So I thought I might as well try the handcrafted one. But again, I didn't realize that it's going to be that bad. Right, so again, as always, I'm not specifically naming the diffrips model, but I'm always using that. So literally what I've just done, init A page, I've already filled that init B page, and now comes the flat plan page. We're departing out of 18. 25 center, 18 for departure, and so I'm expecting the Cindy for Sierra departure towards the southeast, and then it's the routing all the way to Bosna, and then from there, let's have a look from there. It's the Bosna 1 November, although I'm not sure how long that... Guys, I'm sorry, I'm still dropping some frames today. I have no idea what's causing that at the moment. It's kind of strange, because lately I've had really good performance with the streams. Alrighty, so let's have a look at the navigraph here. So let's go with airport info. There we go, airport. So that's the layout I want to have. I want to have the Cindy for Sierra departure. Let's try and find it. Further down are the Arnov overlay departures. There we go. So you want to find the chart that has those waypoints programmed. There it is, going up 4,000 feet. And then for Sarajevo, we're going to take most likely the Zulu approach. But that depends later on our climb gradients. But the start is going to be this one here. So the Bosna 1 November just goes to Norp, that's the initial push fix. And then from Norp... Well, that's interesting. Hold on. Doesn't really make much sense, because it would make more sense to start the procedure from Bosna. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Bosna and then just the approach. Yoda says 28 charge 38 will give you a huge performance boost in DCS though. Well, yeah. The problem with the 4000 series is the immense power it draws from the system. So I am actually, here we go. Where Bosna? I'm actually just a bit worried about the heat development. And again, you know, the question, is it really going to improve performance by that margin if it's more CPU limit? At Force 5, it's the handcrafted one from Asobo. So the deluxe version, you get Frankfurt Airport. But again, I am somewhat disappointed about the performance. It is pretty laggy. And of course, look at all the aircraft currently. It is Friday Frankfurt madness. So you'd expect some lags. Hey Bon, how you doing? Nice to see you. What's the responsibility of the dispatcher in the briefing room? Well, for us, we don't see the dispatchers anymore. We can phone them, but the dispatchers are not actually for us at the dispatch where we go and brief. So flight plans these days, especially short range, are actually made by computers, overseen by dispatchers, but it's a very automated procedure. And so the dispatchers will only go through those quickly to check everything's correctly filed. They have obviously software that makes sure everything's according to you know, the rules and regulations. It's more challenging when you are looking at long-range flights, because there you have, you know, a longer flight time, a lot more weather influence, and so you have closed airspaces maybe, etc., etc. So there's a lot more to do with long-range flights. So that's why you know, dispatchers there are, you know, more focused on compared to the short range. Cool. That's that. So we've got the RATNAV. So performance now. Performance for runway 18 mass and balance. Actually, let me go and try GSX with the boarding.
Boarding requested.
It's just a simulation, isn't it? It's not really. We're not finished quite with boarding anyhow, so it's taking its time as well. Right, departure performance. Preliminary, it's 60.1 tons for takeoff, PAX. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do this. So standard procedure again is PAX off takeoff. And also, depending on the passenger load, it's either low flow or econ flow, depending on the system. Here it would be low flow.
Pilot's boarding starting.
So less than 125 passengers would go low flow here. And but we've got more than 125, so leave that on normal. But we'll try to do it and remember PAX off. All right.
Channel subscriber experience.
PAX off departure. You guys have to remind me later on. Dry runway. So optimum config. PAX off.
Flight entertainment will be served.
We'll do.
Thank you.
13. Mr. Saturday.
1 year, D.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saturday. Thanks for 1 year on Twitch. I hope you're doing well. Oh, hang on. I can see passengers. Lol. Right. Crew. That's actually really neat. I like that. That is so weird. So 1019.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served.
Captain Hasselhoff.
Thank you.
And also, Cameron, thank you so much for the 6 months here. And that's a tier 3. Good lord. Cameron, that's really generous of you. Tier 3, half a year here on Twitch. Thank you so much for that. My word. And I hope you're doing well. Sketchy Captain there? What do you mean? What was? Oh, he didn't have a hat on, didn't he? Yeah, no hat. Very sketchy. I agree. Do I wear a hat? No. So, don't take me as a reference on that. I will, although I have to say, I will do that on long range more often. But short range in a small flight deck, you know, having having so many different aircraft changes, I often actually don't take a hat with me. It's not that I don't like the hat, or the hat doesn't suit me. It actually suits me very well. People tell me that at least. So, yeah. Long range, I'll have a hat on again. Cameron, you say you've been watching you on YouTube for years on YouTube. That's nice. Cameron, like probably noticed, we are back into getting more videos out, and I'm working on another video right now. Should be released hopefully tomorrow. And then we continue from there. Whatever you know, interesting topics I come across. Right, flaps 2 takeoff? No, it's 1.8. Forget it. We'll do config 1 plus F. Long runway. The hat gives you sign of authority. What's a Kappa doing there? Which, of course. Yeah, the older FSL tutorials, obviously they've, you know, some of them are 5 years and older, so I guess it's about time to refresh those. No, we're not going with flaps 3. No, forget it. So flaps 1 down 0.5 and a flex of 67. 1 down 0.5. Oh yeah, somebody actually, Nico was it? Yeah, I think Nico was it. He actually caught me catch the wrong CG for the trim setting, and I have to be careful because that setup is a bit different to what we have in our real aircraft regarding CG for takeoff. So I've got to look at there, this line, not the big numbers, the small ones later on. So the fuel prediction page after engine start, make sure that we get the right CG. Now, if you're wondering, is it a big issue if you know, instead of, let's say, instead of down 0.5 later on, you put up 0.5? Is that really a big issue? No, it's not. So as long as the trim, the actual trim is within the green band here that you see, so CG from anywhere between 10.5 and 40, you can actually overpower a wrong center of gravity trim setting by the flight stick, the elevators. So very sketchy. None of them have hand luggage. That's really weird. He's got a rucksack at least, but normally people have at least two hand luggage at the moment, at least, that is. So flying pole, no, it's not GSX really. It's Frankfurt Airport and the VATSIM traffic. Also, I'm not sure how good the FSLTL model matching is, if that is actually causing some performance issues. Like I say, it is laggy. But right now,
welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Thank you for your streams, Captain BB711 beloved.
Thank you so much, Kazipaya, for your 10 months here on Twitch. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for your support. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? I guess everyone's looking forward to weekend. It's so weird. While you guys are looking forward to weekend, I've actually got to work tomorrow night. So my weekend is already busy with working again. So what else? We got flaps 1 down 0.5, 67, shift 100, and 152, 152, 154. Guys, regarding the dropped frames, I've got to monitor that. If it gets too annoying, then we may have to quickly restart the stream with a different setting. Because it looks like to me at the moment it's unable to achieve the required upload that I've put in. So it's not updating anything, but it's dropping frames. The stream is looking blurry. Okay, yeah, I think the problem with if it's blurry, that has to do with the drop frames.
Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And Alpha, thank you so much coming in, Alpha KL with 13 months. Thank you so much for your support. Right, at least here boarding is completed. GSX, still gonna take some time. Yeah. I can't change the upload rate at the moment, can I? Actually, hang on, maybe I can. Hold on. Oh, I can, maybe I can. Oh, I didn't know you can. I can change the upload rate here. while streaming. I don't have to restart the stream. Okay, so hopefully that stabilizes now. Cool. Alrighty. Does your airline do single-engine taxis? Yes. Taxi in, yes. Taxi out, to be honest. Taxi out, you would need, an airport like London Heathrow, for example. So imagine this. A lot of airports these days, or most airports, have the collaborative decision-making model, so the CDM. And that means that the airport managers, they look at how many aircraft are arriving, departing. So especially departing aircraft then, with regards to their slot time that they may have, their scheduled time, and then they look at how busy the airport itself is. And so they will then determine if there's too many aircraft outbound at the same time, which would mean that they would be aligned on a taxiway, unable to depart, burning fuel. They actually do kind of slotting on the ground. So they will hold you longer at the gate. So you have a target off block time, TOBT. That's normally your scheduled departure time if everything goes as planned. And then the airport will give you a target startup time, a TSAT. And the TSAT is plus minus 5 minutes. And that means in that window you can push back or expect pushback and startup clearance. And that will hopefully then mean you don't have to wait for too long on a taxiway waiting for departure. So with that, it means that you don't have to wait a long time, so you taxi out. And if you do that a single engine, for us, we're not allowed to start the engine while we're taxiing. So we have to taxi, stop somewhere, trying to estimate when it's a good time to start the other engine, and go through the procedures, checklists, etc., and then start the other engine. Especially in a Neo, it may take quite some time. So no, we don't do taxi out single engine very often, or single engine taxi out, SETO. What we do, of course, is a single engine taxi in. However, there you have the problem that the engine needs 3-minute cool down. So we have, sometimes here in Frankfurt, for example, if we get an approach 25 left and then a swing onto 25 center, we have maybe 2.5 minute taxi on time. So there's literally just not enough time to go with single engine taxi in. But yeah, if it's more than 3 minutes, for sure, then we do the single engine taxi in. But there again, you may have to consider some things with tight turns, slippery taxiway, heavy aircraft, blah blah blah. A lot of things to consider whether or not it makes sense to go single engine taxi in. So especially with a heavy 321, I rarely do a single engine taxi in. Do you recommend a FENIX? In what regard, Winkle? I can't recommend something for everyone because everyone has a different means of using their flight sims. Yes, so I used to be on YouTube or Twitch, and then I changed to YouTube. But so many people have asked me if I could maybe dual stream, so that they can watch me on Twitch because they do prefer Twitch. And so yeah, my main channel is still YouTube, but I dual stream on Twitch. Cool. So that's that. Then oh yeah, so the Neos, Flying Paul, the Neos, yes, they have stronger engines. However, it still means if the aircraft is heavy, you're producing a lot of thrust, and the thrust comes out at the end of the engine. And if you are, let's say you're taxiing in, and you've got a tight turn at the end, you need a lot of power on the other engine. And Neo engines are very powerful. A lot of thrust comes out at the end. So yeah, again, it all depends on so many different variables, and you can't always say oh, I've got 3-minute taxiing time or more. I'll always use single engine taxiing. No, it's not that simple. So let's go Cindy Fort Sierra. Let's see if I find it here somewhere. There it is. Cool. Alrighty, I'm happy with that. So performance calculations is done. All we need to do now is we need to go and get a secondary flight plan going. Copy that. Then we go Frankfurt in here. Whoop. Oh god. So what happened here? Secondary flight plan.
Way to fast right, speed 2 and for Cadro Papa. Thank you.
I've got some problem with GS Pushback and FENIX. Can you help? I don't know. I'm not really that proficient with GSX, but what's the problem? Maybe someone here in chat can help you, Pyroblaster. Good evening, MCK. How are you doing? So let's see. We've got that. Then return plan. Let's do it 2-5 center in case anything goes wrong. You're decent. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I guess you're busy with school. 2-5 center. Any news regarding your wide body future that you can share? Yes, I'm on a reserve list at the moment. But I've already mentioned that the real problem is there is a limit on the amount of instructors we have right now. So it's difficult to predict exactly when the transition will happen. But a good sign is I'm on a reserve list right now for the 747. So it does look promising. But there's no set date as such yet. Right, load sheet, final figures, accept. So now that we have the final figures, let's insert those in here. So 58.5 goes in here, and 30.7 is the zero fuel ACG. Is anybody else having performance issues with Frankfurt Airport, the handcrafted one? So that's inserted 65 tons, which means we calculated with 65.1, so that's all fine. We can leave the calculations as is. Now, do we have everyone available, including CPDLC or PDC? Yes, it should work. So they do advertise it, so let's try that. ATC request, pre-departure clearance. Okay, so Pyroblaster, since you've had GSX, I've never really had any problems with the pushback function until today. So load up the FENIX in Madeira, configure the aircraft ready for flight fuel, and select the pushback from the menu. GSX did its normal thing and started pushback nose right. The pushback truck had no sooner started moving and it disappeared, causing the aircraft to violently twist. Oh my god. Oh no. Yeah, the problem is with the steering issue. So once it disconnects doing pushback with the FENIX, you have some real problems. So I try to remember what I did, and I restarted Coatl, I think, and I had to switch off the engines. That was it. I had to switch off the engines in Microsoft Flight Sim to then have control over the nose wheel steering again. Yeah, that's what I did. I remember that now. We have information Foxtrot. Right, a lot of messages coming in, so let's see. MCK says, school hard work, yeah, and I hope your flying is going well. Yeah, flying is busy as well, but it's fine, so I have no reason to complain. But yeah, we are very busy at the moment. So, Gute wie? The Frankfurt greeting. Gute wie? Gute gut. Right, 28. I think that's 28, isn't it? Don't have that here. God, it's so laggy. 28. There you go. I hope that gets better once we're airborne. Blimey. Right, let's send that off. See what happens. So, diff rip secondary. All we need to do now, last thing to do is get a fix info in here for the engine out case. And the engine out here is straight out 178 degrees. 25 miles if we need to. Acceleration would be in 2,500 feet. So that we can quickly pick up radar vectors downwind for runway 25. Quite likely crashed. The one of the reasons JSX stuff disappears. Okay. We should have ACDM working on Frankfurt Fridays working since we can't show the teaser on the video sim. You have to ask for it on delivery. Oh, is it really? So hang on. Maybe we get that with the clearance then. So standby being processed. Cool. Right. While we wait for the clearance, let's go ahead. Doors are all closed. That's nice. So briefing. Takeoff runway is 18. Intersection is Lima calculated, but we can take full length as well, of course. And it's a Cindy 4 Sierra. First cleared altitude is 4,000 feet. Sector 3,500 feet in the south, and the extra fuel is 1 ton for Sarajevo. Hotspots taxi out. We have one taxiway which is a bit of a hotspot from time to time, and that is the November 11. So aircraft coming down from runway 25 right. So here we got to be careful taxiing out normally in November, and depending on what we have here with the apron controller, we have a frequency change there as well. So we'll see. We'll get ready for that. So we've got Frankfurt, Lufthansa 1544 cleared to Sarajevo, off runway 18 via Cindy 4 Sierra, climb 4000, squawk 2042. So next page, and next frequency 1219, start up on 1219. No more pages, send. Right, there we go. So confirm that 2044. Oops. 2042 was it? 42. That is set. And there we have it. Now let's see if there was any other messages. Alright, that was all. Cool. So the clearance is confirmed. That's nice. So depends on. So sometimes says ACC TSAT depends on what the top sky CBDX file has in it. Okay. Well, we'll see. We're gonna ask for startup in a second. So 1219 then as a next frequency. Cool. So hotspots taxing out. We've covered that. Stop margin RTO is more than 1,000 meters. Not critical then until V1. For thrust loss, ATC call, aircraft not controllable, and all the warnings, cautions coming through the inhibition phase. AOSID is just straight out until 25 miles if we have to, acceleration 2,500, and then we get radar vectors, 25 center, return on the secondary flight plan. Just everything standard, there's nothing broken, nothing inops, so last thing to discuss were threats. Do you guys see any threats for today, apart from lots of traffic? Lots of VATSIM traffic.
Destination on EQ1 Foxtrot.
Hello FPS. Okay, yeah, I agree.
Direct 655 and EQ1 user departure runway 1. Sorry, EQ1 18. Direct 655 correct.
Brilliant. It's 1219. Let's increase the volume.
Lufthansa 12, we are ready for start gate Alpha 25.
Ooh, someone else pushing back Alpha too far.
Lufthansa 712, expect startup.
Right, we have, first of all, we have to read the cockpit preparation checklist.
Lufthansa 4 Charlie Mike.
Get everything else
approved.
ready.
Und,
There we go. So, cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins covers removed. Fuel quantity 6,680 kilograms balanced. Seat belts on. ADIOS.
Lufthansa 15 Echo.
NAF.
Startup approved.
And about ref. Kinich 102. 0 it should be 1020 set. Cockpit preparation checklist completed.
52 Yankee expect startup time 1833.
1833, thank you, Martin. Delivery Lufthansa 924 and Alpha 13 request push start.
Wow, it's busy. It's crazy. Frankfurt madness.
German cargo 9131 delivery.
Yeah, go ahead.
German cargo 90131. Startup approved. Contact 121.850. Goodbye.
121.850. Start approved. German cargo 90131. Anchor choose.
Lufthansa 924. Confirm ready.
924 is ready.
Okay. Expect startup 1835. I call you in 3 minutes.
Sure. 1835. Lufthansa 924.
Frankfurt delivery, good evening from Lufthansa 1544. CPDLC or PDC is received. Requesting our TSAT time, please.
Lufthansa 1544. Guten Abend. Expect startup come 1840.
At 40, thank you. Standing by, Lufthansa 1544. There we go. So 10 minutes, 12 minutes from now, we
Lufthansa 712.
can expect the startup.
Lufthansa 712, go ahead.
Well, it's only 10 minutes. It's not bad.
Startup is
It's
approved.
not bad.
Contact 121.850.
Happy with that. I actually like it.
Status approved over to ground 1185.
I actually do like it. Because then, when people get TSATs, they stop nagging. So all good with me.
Cargo 8220.
Look at what's going on here. Blimey. I'm surprised I got any FPS at all.
Good evening, Lufthansa 1 Charlie Alpha, request Alpha Clearance to Haneda, Tokyo via...
Oh, GG to Tokyo.
Lufthansa 1 Charlie Alpha delivery cleared to Haneda, Cindy for Terra departure, flight plan route, climb via 6,
One pushing back there.
2101.
You waited 25 minutes for start at Ibiza. I think my record was in Berlin. Wasn't that like an hour or something?
101, Lufthansa 1 Charlie Alpha.
Lufthansa 1 Charlie Alpha, correct.
Voyager
Delivery
says
Hainan 496 is ready for pushback.
he has to try Frankfurt Matters one day.
496, stand by. We're fighting with our system here.
Roger.
What's happening here?
Delivery, Lufthansa 220 kilo, then Foxtrot, Victor...
Already queuing up there.
Lufthansa 2 Charlie Kilo, delivery, good night.
I don't remember any having such few FPS. Or it's so laggy, I don't know. One of those two.
Is ready for push and start.
Why can't planes land opposite side of 1.8? Nicolas, it's not... it never was authorized, so... And now with the 2.5 right runway, if you landed this way, so runway 36, and you had to go missed approach, you would have direct conflict with any aircraft coming into 2.5 right there.
89er delivery, I read you broken second.
Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's static there. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's about 30, 35 aircraft right now. No, Niklas, because 1.8 is only departing. There's nobody's landing on 1.8, so there's no issue. But of course, yeah, I mean, there are obviously some delays or sequence delays with departures and out of 2.5 center and 1.8. Yes, there is.
Ready for pushback.
Mission start.
Lufthansa 56, I call you back. Lufthansa 2 Charlie Kilo delivery.
So I've got to listen in now.
2 Charlie Kilo, go ahead.
Lufthansa 2 Charlie Kilo, clear to Krakow, Zulu 3 Sierra departure flight and Lufthansa set altitude 4,000 feet of 1,000.
Okay,
No, that's static, Mr. Saturday. I'm pretty sure that is a static aircraft. APU sniffer. Tis. Yeah, that's static. Pretty sure that. I think those are all static here.
Lufthansa 56 delivery.
Yep, delivery 46.
Lufthansa 56, expect startup time 1846.
All time 1846, thank you.
46, GG's.
Starlink 655, ready for pushback startup.
Skylink 655.
I'm just wondering, shall I put
startup 1846.
dial down some of the settings?
Expect that 46 Skylink 655.
Transavia 5 to Yankee delivery.
Do you think that will help in any ways?
Transavia 5 to Yankee, startup approved, contact 121.850, goodbye.
Probably not.
Startup approved, down 121.850, thank you, thank you.
Delivery check
Ah, maybe a little bit.
Lufthansa 239er, then Alpha 19er.
28 departures, 12 arriving. That's busy.
Lufthansa 239er, Frankfurt delivery, guten Abend, expect
Now he's
startup
nicely holding
time
short
1850.
November 10. GG.
Roger 239er.
Hainan 496 delivery.
Hainan 496, go ahead.
Hainan 496, startup is approved, contact
Oh god, chain reactor, how you doing?
950, goodbye.
Avenger, well, I mean, we've got to wait 7 minutes, or 6 minutes, till our TSAT starts. So push back in about 6-7 minutes.
Only pushback, confirm.
Skylink 655, negative hold position, expect startup time 1844.
Roger, 44.
That's not promising. I don't know why he's just standing there. Oh, and look at that. Lol. There's no movement whatsoever. So if that one has no ground contact, and that one doesn't have ground contact, they all, queue up behind them. Yes, with the TSAT's Eagle Motion, exactly that, just like in real life. So I quite like that. Ed Browns, hello to you. How are you doing? There's no movement. They're all standing there. This won't happen at Amsterdam, obviously. You want to bet?
Delivery, hello, Lufthansa 230, gate Charlie 5, information Foxtrot 6 clearance to Hamburg.
Hey Danny, how you doing? Nice of you to join today. Now that is a bit weird. Oh, now he's moving. Okay. I do not know what's happened there, but that was a bit weird that they all waited. Yeah, would have wasted fuel.
Hello, Kate Hamburg, Maroon 7 Mike departure, runway 25 center, climb via Sitcha level 70, squawk 2051.
Camproud, how are you doing?
Hamburg via Maroon 7 Mike departure, initial climb 770, squawk 2051.
Paris, not, yeah, you forget it. Wow.
Frankfurt delivery KLM 2882, ready for pushback and engine start.
Also 230, read back correct, report ready for
Look at that. The heavy coming in here as well. Good lord.
KLM 2882, startup approved, contact April.
And Hawkey, how are you doing?
Goodbye.
Good. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
121.850, KLM 2882, thank you.
Oh no, busy. I'm really busy flying IRL, so still overtime. And November looks also as if it's going to be overtime. I'm on VATSIM, Winkel. So
Lufthansa 2 Charlie Kilo.
So it's not multiplayer. It is actually VATSIM, so the ATC server.
Expecting time startup 1857, Lufthansa 2 Charlie Kilo.
Good lord, it's so busy. Okay, that's an interesting pushback there. I hope he didn't bend my wing there. Good God. What is going on here? I swear, if we have 5 more aircraft, I will have 0 FPS.
Scandinavian 4756, delivery, good evening, reduce time.
It'll be a slideshow. You're doing well.
Thank you.
Just a bit too much stress at work. Let's over the weekend now. That's good. Yeah, make sure that you have some nice relaxation. Recharge the batteries.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary
MCK
drinks,
still,
snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served.
I mean,
Thank you.
I would say between 85 to 100%. It is still crazy. At the moment, we've got autumn holidays, so.
Scandinavian 4756.
Poutine Flyer, I think it's a mixture. I think the scenery here is not optimized either. So we're going to be listening in now because our
Lufthansa 924 delivery.
Our TSAT is coming up. Big
Lufthansa
thank you
924, squawk 2003.
to Turboprop 82.
Contact 121.850. Goodbye.
Turboprop, thank you so much for your sub.
Startup approved, and we'll contact.
That's a new member.
185
Welcome to
94.
the community here. I hope you're doing well.
For ground, Lufthansa 923, ready for push to start.
Lufthansa 924 still with delivery, 121.850. Goodbye.
Right. So. We are ready.
Skylink.
Just wait for the startup clearance so that we can read the before start checklist.
Go ahead. Skylink 655. Startup approved. Contact 121.950 and hold your position.
Start approval 121.850. Skylink 655.
Skylink 655. Negative frequency 121.950.
Sorry, 950. Skylink 655.
Correct. Goodbye. Goodbye. Lufthansa 1544 delivery.
1544, go.
Lufthansa 1544, unfortunately, new startup time 1848.
Okay, that's copied. Lufthansa 1544. What the hell just happened? Yeah, this is scary realistic. This is way too realistic for me. Oh, I hate those announcements. So, you know, you've done your announcement to the passenger saying that you have to ask for some of their patience because a lot of traffic outbound at the moment, and we've been put in the queue. We expect pushback at, I don't know, 20 to 9 or something, and then you get a message that you've just been pushed back another 10 minutes. Yeah. So you can do that once or twice, but if you do that 3 times, then passengers won't believe you anymore. Poutine Fly, hello to you. Thank you much, Turboprop. That's really kind.
Lufthansa 230.
Turboprop, no. So this is the standard Frankfurt scenery. It's a handcrafted one, which comes with the deluxe version of Microsoft. And I fear that it's actually really not optimized. Exactly. Yeah, right. Like this one. Yeah, I totally agree. Yes, it is the FSLTL. Yeah, correct. So I actually had seen this, and that's actually really nice. Not just the aircraft itself, but the model matching. It's a nice looking airport. I'm just worried that FPS is just a bit off. Oh yeah, apparently. So I did install another update or another add-on where, yeah, they implemented a couple of things here which do not come with the standard airport scenery. Yeah, but that's still the old colors, MCK. So it's time for a update on the colors there.
Lufthansa 1544.
Lufthansa 1544, go ahead.
Lufthansa 1544, es ist wieder ein bisschen besser geworden. Startup is approved. Contact apron 121.850 Rückflug.
Oh Mann, das ist ja beängstigend real. Vielen Dank, 121.850. Guten Abend, die Lufthansa 1544. Ciao.
Yeah.
Oh, right, so.
And speedbird 902 November, hold short November 4, and over to my colleague 121.905.
Yeah, Voyager, exactly.
Hold
yeah.
short November 4, and over here, colleague 121.905.
Performance at the moment is, I would say it's pretty laggy.
Apron Lufthansa 924, wave taxi.
Sky correction Transavia 5 to Yankee, continue via November, hold short November 10, and over to my colleague 12175.
So I've got to go
November to November 1012.
already into this.
Lufthansa 924, Roger, November 5, November, hold short November 10.
November 5, November, and short of November 10, Lufthansa 924.
Apron Abend, die Lufthansa 1544, stand Alpha 28 requesting push.
Block.
Lufthansa 920, if it's possible, hold position for a moment, I'll call you back. There's one inbound traffic in front
so
of you.
busy, it's just like real life.
KLM 2882 ready for taxi.
Oh man.
2882, Roger, standby. Luft 924, did you copy?
Lufthansa 924, November 5, November, short of November 10.
924, I'll hold position for a moment. But there is an inbound traffic in front of you. Once he's passed, you can continue taxi.
Holding position 924.
November, hold short, November 10.
JSNAP it is, yeah. I wish we would have the same thing as in real life, where we actually request pushback through the EFB,
Roger, taxi via
and then we just wait until the controller calls us.
Lima November 7, hold short November.
Apron, hello, Lufthansa 1544, stand 28 requesting push. Oh. Sorry, I blocked again. The Lufthansa 1544, stand Alpha 28 requesting push.
Lufthansa 1544, Roger, push approved.
Push approved, thank you, 1544. Right, so let's see. So, how do I do this? So, shift.
Lufthansa 543, apron, very good evening. Continue, hold short November 8.
Shift. How to rotate? Rotate this.
Good evening.
This. All right.
Bravo with you on the Lima for November 8.
M23 Bravo, very good evening. Continue, hold short November 8.
Can see you in hold short November 8, M23 Bravo.
M2882, sorry, that was my mistake. Continue taxi via November 7, link 3, November 8, hold short November.
Please make your way to the first class cabin.
Taxi via November 7, link 3. Okay,
hey Chester!
FM, link 3 and November 8 and hold out of November.
Okay, so taxi via November 7, link 3, November 8 and hold short. Okay, then 2882.
Oh, MCK, I guess I need to show you that then.
Sorry, we have to do it again.
Chester, thank you so much for 3 months in advance.
It should be. So November 7, hold short November.
That's really kind, Chester. Chester, thank you for 3 months in advance. Welcome to the community. And that's for 17 months in total now. Right, before start checklist, we've got park brake off, takeoff speed flex. Takeoff speeds, we have 152, 152, 154, flex 67, windows, closed. Beacon
on Lima, short of November 8.
Before start checklist complete.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And at Force 5, hold short December. Lord, thanks for the 9 months.
On Lima, short of November 8.
I hope you're doing well.
Trevor 18 bearing 10 and 4 and straight line before.
Right. Oh, we finished Pushback.
Nice. Contact April 1 to 175.
2175, Lufthansa 924.
Ground Green Spirit 142.
So just starting up engine 2.
Green Spirit 142, every very good evening once again. Stand by for you.
One thing I find very pleasant right now is, even though it's really busy, the controllers sound very motivated. They sound very, you know, calm. So they're doing a really good job.
Island 4906, April, very good evening. Did the controller not tell you hold short of November 4?
To ground.
Uh-oh.
Good engine start.
Correct. And you're on November 4. So if it's possible, right turn on to November again, hold short November 5.
He's like...
687, Edwin, schönen guten Abend, right on to Lima, hold short November 8.
Right, still waiting for engine start.
Continue via Lima, November 5, hold short to November. Finish the 543, sorry, my mistake. Lima, hold short November 4. Lima, hold short November 4. 543, sorry again.
Good,
via Lima,
engine start.
November 5.
2 and 1, let's do the flows.
Lieutenant 496, that's not November, that's Lima.
Yeah, he's a bit lost it seems.
Where's the taxi? So right onto November 5, left onto November.
So let's make sure we get the right or the correct CG here. So a few prediction. So take a CG 28.9.
Have what I say, yeah, we on the Lima, we
so 28.9.
Yeah, 9
is about
right, next taxiway, that's November 5, then left onto November.
Okay, so it's not really down 0.5, is it?
And keep it rolling, please. You're blocking the whole inbound traffic.
Just make sure that we have everything correctly set.
Bravo. For the moment, Lima hold November 5.
For the moment, Lima will short of November 5. Gain up to 6 ground.
2882 for the moment. November
that's
7,
why.
hold short Lima.
November 7, hold short Lima. Okay, then 882.
Alpha 6 is ready for taxi.
That's why.
Last station code again?
Lufthansa 56 is ready for taxi.
Lufthansa 56, but via
They were down 0.1, the rest remains the same. Okay, so that makes sense, down 0.1. Cool.
By November 5,
after start
hold
checklist,
November
anti-eyes
1,
is off. Ecam status checked. Pitch trim 28.9% and road trim neutral. That's the after start checklist complete.
Process 21, short of November 8.
Right, let's see if we get taxi clearance somewhere. Apron Lufthansa 1544 request taxi.
Lufthansa 154, roger. For the moment, November 7, hold short in November.
November 7, hold short November, Lufthansa 1544. Well, that's easy enough.
Green Spirit 142, for the moment, November 7, hold short November.
November 7, hold short November, Green Spirit 142.
Brake check. Brakes are working.
It's now 239, roger, push approved.
So November 7 and just hold short November there. Alright.
Royal Jet 21, very good evening. Sorry for that. Continue.
25 center in up in sim as well. No, I don't think so. On the ATIS it says 25 center is open, so it says departure in use 25 center and 18.
And for all stations on the frequency, a hold short of means not to taxi on the taxiway, but to stand in front of it.
Roger, roger. That's can
542 via Lima, hold short November 4.
Can be very entertaining. It can be, yes.
Lima, hold short November 4, 1219, correct, 9 or 5. 9 or 5.
Oh, so it's up to the control discretion.
Bravo. Follow the A340 in front of you via Lima, hold short November 4, and over to 1219 or 5.
follow the A340 in front of me. Just the taxi on Lima, which was November 4, and after that contact 121.95
so Mighty Morph.
KM 2882, continue via Lima, hold short November 4.
These ones you see ahead are static aircraft. Every aircraft that's moving, they are all other people, so real world sim pilots joining on the network today.
On Lima.
So, we're still November 7, hold short November. So we taxi forward until there.
Royal Jet 21
and we'll hold
behind
short.
the KLM A320 turning on to Lima now. Continue taxi via Lima, hold short November 4 behind.
We'll follow the KLM aircraft on to Lima, short of November 4, Royal Jet 21.
And Lufthansa 687, follow traffic in front of you via Lima, hold short November 4.
Wow, it's so laggy. Good God. I can't remember the last time I had such bad performance at an airport.
1544, right onto November, hold short November 10 on 12175. Ciao.
Right, November, hold short November 10 and 12175. Dankeschön, die Lufthansa 1544.
Turkish.
Just like in real life as well, that's so cool. Alright, left side is clear. Right side is clear. I don't know.
It's 142, continue via November.
Okay, that's
7,
it is. Okay, wow, that's a pretty good achievement.
Continue via November 7, hold short, Lima, Green Spirit 142.
Turkish 89er, AFM, push approved.
Frankfurt 810, Roger, pushback crew.
So let's see if I can dial in 12175 without crashing into anything.
And cam 8, correction 2882, 12195, bye bye.
12195, clear. 882, November 14, traffic from left to right. Sure, November 145, thank you.
April Abend, die Lufthansa 1544 on November, approaching November 10.
Lufthansa 1544, Frankfurt Apron, hello, continue via November.
Continue via November, Lufthansa 1544. So that's good, so we don't have to stop here, we can actually continue taxiing. Happy with that, and that's a good point now to read the taxi checklist. Flight controls checked, flap setting config 1 plus F. Radar predictor wind shear system is on auto and engine mode selector normal, and the ECA memo takeoff no blue.
Lufthansa 1 Lima November
Taxi
Frankfurt
checklist
8
completed.
hello, gate Bravo 10, taxi via Papa November 11, hold short November. Papa November 11, hold short
there, look
November.
at that, lovely. Lufthansa cargo.
Papa November 11, hold short November, gate Bravo 10. Transfer 5 to Yankee, continue taxi on November, contact tower 124.85, bye-bye.
Continue on to November 11.85, thank you, bye.
Lufthansa 56, contact tower 124.85, bye-bye.
124.85 for the contact flight.
Lufthansa 1544, continue via November, also over to tower 124.85, bye-bye.
Continue November and over to tower 124.85. Dankeschön. Schönen Abend, die Lufthansa 1544.
Ebenfalls, danke.
Danke euch.
Continue Papa, hold short November 1, Lufthansa 14.
This time's 561.
The 56, good evening. Transavia 5 to Yankee.
Transavia 5 to Yankee, hello, line up on 18.
Line up 185, thank you.
So how many aircraft are ahead of me now? 1, 2. Oh, tower number Lufthansa 1544 on November.
1544, hello, continue November south.
Continue November south, 1544. So that's good. That means, just like in real life, we actually have the chance to bypass that heavy.
655, hold short of runway
Now,
18, call you.
primarily departures are sequenced via the departure routings. So, you know, when you have a straight out departure, the next one going left like we do, Cindy 4 Sierra, that's a criteria, and also then the heavy jets and the medium jets. Now, that's why we actually, we calculate with intersection Lima,
The 2014 contact 8,
because that way we actually have the option to then go via November South or Lima.
Ciao, 69 kilometer, 230 degrees, tune up, runway 255, kilometers.
So November South, so this is November, that's November South here, and that's Lima. So we calculate Lima, we're departing from November South, so that's all fine. We don't have to recalculate our performance.
Ist unser 910 still on frequency?
So frequency Lufthansa 910.
Yeah, it's already over already, I think. And you were instructed
We're moving, and that's so cool as well, look at that.
Contact apron 12175.
DHL.
Apron 12175, sorry, Lufthansa 910, schönen Abend noch.
Tschüss. On the F5 Yankee, 1 departure on 2% as ahead, I call you shortly.
MCK correct, yeah. Absolutely correct. If 07s are in use, it says on the ATIS that we should prepare intersection Mike. So when you get a lineup clearance, they would ask you first of all, are you able Mike? Then you would say affirm, and then they would say taxi forward, be Mike, and then from there you get your takeoff clearance. So that separates you from the inbound traffic regarding wake turbulence.
Okay, Tower KLM 1773, establish ILS.
So we go now left on November South.
KLM 1773, good evening, number 3, shortly to be number 2.
There's so much traffic.
Number 3, KLM 1773.
Thank you much, Chris. How are you doing? Have a great weekend as well then. I don't know, Stepke, I don't know. I'm not starting a discussion about that. You can say whatever you like.
Left on Papa, hold of November 11.
Right. Now, I'm going to start TCAS already. That's Transavia, that's nice. He's getting clearance.
Sculling 655 behind departing Transavia 737 from full length, line up runway 18 behind.
That's him there.
Behind departing traffic, line up.
And that's Mike intersection there, where he's standing. So we're going to hold here.
Shoot, I've gone to Papa 1, sorry, before 69 kilo Mike.
We've got 69 kilo Mike, roger, continue Papa 1, hold short of the apron and contact 12175.
Alright, recap, we're going via the Sydney 4 Sierra as cleared up 4,000 feet. So Delta Fox 158, 220 knots, and then 159, we need at least 2,500 feet. That's because of a private airfield here, and the air traffic, the control area. So the airspace. Is there times where you have ended up in a situation where you are...
1544, line up runway 18.
Line up runway 18, Lufthansa 1544. Sorry, I'm going to have to get to the question in a second. Let me just line up here. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Line up checklist. And I have not forgotten. Take off runway 18 Lima. Now we could do 100, well, let's do 50 meters shift then. It's 18 Lima and the TCAS, TARA, and the packs are off. Now in real life, what I would expect is lineup 18, you're number 2 for departure. That's what I would normally expect as a lineup clearance.
Runway 25 right, KLM 1773.
I don't know if that's necessary.
1544, departure on 2% prior your departure.
Lufthansa 1544, sorry, say again?
Yeah, there will be 1 departure on 2% prior your departure.
That is good, thank you much. What was loud? Sorry. Walkie, what was loud?
Tower Tower with an arm, Tower 131, Whiskey 1, Sharp 18.
Tower 131. Setting 655, identified, contact 136, 125.
So it's not necessary, but it's good controllership as to say that. Okay, cool.
136, 125, scaling 355.
Right, 136.
Frankfurt Tower, gute Lufthansa 239er on November.
239er on Moin, left November status is delayed.
So that's departure frequency.
Please say again, Lufthansa 239er.
If you stay able, yeah, okay, you missed it now. Too late.
So there's a nice 25 center departure as well. Just seen that on the TCAS.
Yeah, I ask you to continue November south.
Really busy. I mean, for the controllers, it must be really stressful here.
I can still continue November south, Lufthansa 239er.
You're really able for that?
And again, I have to say, big hats off to the controllers.
November south.
There he is.
The 1544, when 230 degrees, 2 knots, runway 18, clear takeoff.
Runway 18, clear takeoff, Lufthansa 1544. Good, let's go.
Takeoff Yankee, contact 121, decimal 75.
121, decimal 750,
Manflex 67, SRS, autothrust, blue. Thrust set. $100 knots.
The 239er, land us runway 18.
Landing up runway 18.
56, what is estimated flight time?
Rotate.
You're probably number...
Oh, holy lady. What's freaking rough? Oh, no. Let's hope that gets better soon. Blimey. Thrust leg climb, out blue, auto thrust. 136, 125. Danke euch. Schönen Abend, die Lufthansa 1544.
Can 177 pre-taxi left on top.
Departure, very good evening, scaling 655 4000 to Romeo India Delta. Scaling 655, hello, climb level 13. Climb 130, scaling 655.
Yep, pack's coming in a second. Good call though. Nico. Oh, Nikki. Right, let's get that on.
Yeah, because they was connected 136, 125, not 136.
So once you set the climb power,
okay.
switch from the packs. Marginal Lufthansa 1544 passing 2,800, climbing 4,000. Climb level 110, Lufthansa 1544.
Lang, schönen guten Abend, Lufthansa 5 Charlie with you, flight level 100 and speed 320 knots.
Flaps 0, speed check, flaps 0.
Expect ILS 25 left, information hotel, check.
I really hope that the FPS get better, unless something else has broken completely, I don't know. But look at that, look at all the lights. No, it's laggy, Hawkey, because of the bad FPS. That's why.
1252, scaling 655, bye.
Not too bad regarding our departure. So.
67, flight level 110, down to flight level 100, and speed is 300 knots.
That's the 1467 at all, speed 80 knots. For hotel, expect
Walkie, I hope so. I really hope so. So, set standard. Standard cross check passing 5-3. No.
1467.
So 5 Charlie speed.
Yeah, exactly. Flash it like a Christmas tree.
280 knots, Lufthansa 5 Charlie.
The 1544 connect Lang, 125, that's good. Bye-bye.
1252, Dankeschön. Tschüss, die Lufthansa 1544. I have a feeling that even that is laggy.
Charlie at 28 knots, descent flight level 70. At 28 knots, descent flight level 70, Lufthansa 5 Charlie.
Oh, hang on, I know what I forgot. Hold on. I need to start process lasso.
5 to Yankee, contact Rhine radar on 134.075.
So the process lasso will not heal everything, but it'll smooth out a little bit. I've completely forgotten.
134.075.
134.075, thank you.
Yeah, it's a bit better now. Langenam, Lufthansa 1544, we're passing 90, climbing 110.
Lufthansa 1544, Langhalo radar contact. Climb flight level 230, climb at 2000 feet per minute until passing flight level 160.
Lufthansa 1544, climbing level 230, 2000 more until out of level 160. So, what we're going to do is we're going to nail that speed to 50. There's different ways of doing or following that kind of instruction. So you can try open climb with a set speed. Now in real life what we would do is we would dial up the speed in open descent first of all. So the aircraft nose will drop, and then at that vertical speed now, 2000, I'm gonna pull on the vertical speed knob here, set it to vertical speed, and then dial up the speed knob to, let's say, 300 knots. And then just try to estimate a climb rate, let's say 2,400 feet per minute, and see where the speed goes to. So we're still on maximum climb power, and we've got more than 2,000 feet per minute, as instructed, until we're out of 160. Pitch right now is about 7.5 degrees, maybe 7. So if I go 2,200 feet per minute, which is good enough, yeah, we can switch off the seatbelt signs as well now. Right, we've got our packs on. That's good. So we got gear up, flaps retracted, gear is up. Spoilers, disarm, passing 10,000. Obviously, we do the rest of the flows. RATNAV, secondary, copy active, and fix info clear. And that's it. At the moment, we have variable cost indices. Ooh, we're already reaching 300 knots here, so go a little bit faster here.
Dialing 655, contact
so
Rhine
this
radar
area to the south here is the Odenwald. Odenwald, in case you're interested.
475, scaling 655, bye.
Yeah, that's better performance now.
Oof.
Nice FPS, I like it.
Lufthansa 239er Langhalo radar contact, climb flight level 24.
I just want to switch off the cabin lights.
Flight level 250.
Condor 2 Mike Papa Langhalo radar contact, descent flight level 230.
Descent flight level 230.
We want to use CPDLC, obviously. Right, we're past 160, so I'm going to go now with managed climb. So we got thrust climb out blue, 230, so own climb right now.
Ryanair 000 speed 280 knots.
280 knots, Ryanair Sarajevo.
MCK, here's what I don't understand. At 7 degrees pitch, it's okay to turn off seatbelts, but at 7.5, cabin cruise goes. Well, no, I know. So MCK, I do not know the exact value when these trolleys will.
Lufthansa 1544, contact Rhine radar on 134.075, bye bye.
134.075, just the Lufthansa 1544. I don't know exactly what degree, but that's just a limit they taught us. So, you know, it's one of those issues where I'm like, okay, if they say it's 7 degrees, then they must have tested it or something. So I'll just stick to that. Anyway, Lufthansa 1544, passing 190, climbing 230.
Lufthansa 1544 rein, hello, radar contact, climb level 310.
Climbing level 310, Lufthansa 1544, and requesting 350 for cruise, please.
1544.
So we're too heavy for 370 as I expected. So here in the FENIX, quite often you get 350 as your optimum. So we'll do that. Right, we're back on managed speed. So everything's managed now. Now we can turn terrain on as well. Now that we have better FPS. What cost index does my airline use? It depends on variable. So anywhere between 4 to 10, 15 sometimes, but rarely. But most of the time it's around about, between 4 and 6.
KLM 2882, Monaco 122.8, goodbye.
So let's have a look if we can get
122.8, KLM 282, thank you.
It's a bit loud on the 134075. There he is. We are Echo Delta Uniform Whiskey above level 245. So why not log on then?
KLM 26 November, direct Dinkelsbühl, Delta Kilo Bravo.
KLM 26 November, direct Dinkelsbühl, Delta Kilo Bravo. KLM 26 November.
That always... I do not know why. So I press ATC com. How come I can't get into that menu?
Good evening, Turkish 3, Sierra Yankee 360.
Turkish 3, Sierra Yankee, rein, hello, radar contact.
Ah, thank you, MCK. That's weird. So when you have the same menu on this side, it doesn't connect to ATC. Alrighty. Echo Delta Uniform Whiskey. Hey, Crystal Sky, thank you much. Good, so 245, we're just passing that now, so log on should be working. I love that feature, that's really cool.
Confirm 20 minutes?
Yes, confirm 20 minutes.
Okay, that will be not possible for us, because you have to switch frequency at in 7 minutes.
Okay, no worries.
Beautiful.
Now, otherwise just disconnect if you want to have a break. Otherwise, you have to stay here. I'll try to give you a direct...
Yeah,
so
Danny, regarding the cost indices,
you leave our airspace
every airline has a different procedure on that. So yeah, I'm not familiar with other airlines' procedures. I can only, tell you what we do, but... Well, it depends. So Jesus, it depends on the controller. So, I mean, CPTLC in real life as well is mostly in the upper sectors, not in the lower ones. So when you look at the controller info on VATSIM, they will tell you then it's Rhine radar here, and they say that above 245, and there we go. So just been accepted. Log on accepted.
Beepbird 2654 Rhein, hello, radar
current
contact.
ATC, Rhine radar.
Eastward 142 Montes Unicom, goodbye.
Unicom, green square 142, thanks, guys.
So, on our way, and we have a, was it 1 hour 30 total flight time to Sarajevo? Get that button there. Let's get the routing up here. Yeah, there we go. So it's a nice straight route.
Latvia 561, contact Bremen, 119 decimal 525, goodbye.
One thing I would love to have here is the thing we have in the FS Labs,
5-6 at flight level 1.
where you can have all the, or display the sectors available right now on VATSIM with the frequencies. That's cool. We're passing right over Munich.
Climb level 310 and resume normal rate of climb.
Flying to flight level 310 at normal rate of climb.
Let me just dial down the sim sounds a bit.
We're 5 on correction, 52 Yankee Monte Unicom, 122 decimal 8, proceed.
Over to Unicom, bye bye, thank you, bye, thank you.
So let's pretend we're wearing our noise compensated headsets here.
Latvia 561 on a correction. Contact Bremen,
Hey Icebird, how you doing?
525, goodbye.
No Icebird, in real life we don't know. Because we have 2 pilots on the flight deck. So München, Klagenfurt, nice. Banja Luka, and then we're inbound to Sarajevo. That's also a nice display because here we can see the grid altitudes. So, oh, hold on. So, Monitor Unicom 122.8.
Requesting descent.
There we go.
KLM 26 November, you have plenty of time. You can expect 250 Delta Kilo Bravo.
Roger, KLM 26 November.
So we should be logging off.
And radar Latvia 302 request.
That was nice. That was good control. So let's go ATC com again. Connection status. There we go. So disconnect. So disconnected from CPDLC as well. Cool. Yeah, so Giftswerk, as far as I understood, actually let's go 350 in the meantime. So we got thrust climb, out blue 350. And Tepixki, how are you doing? Yeah, so Giftswerk, I have applied for a departure slot, and it's a lottery, isn't it? So it all depends whether or not I get a slot. (22nd) Alpine 2. It's eastbound, yeah. Beautiful clouds in the background there, I love it. That's really nice. What aircraft? That's a good question, Jesus. I've not really completely thought about that. What would be ultra cool would be a shared cockpit flight. Cessna. No, so I actually would love to do 747-200 from Felis shared cockpit, but I am not sure whether or not that's I mean, in X-Plane 11 it may be stable enough to do so, not an X-Plane 12, but X-Plane 11 it should actually work, but I have to check with JSNAP on that. Maybe the A330 from Aerosoft will release. Yeah. The MD-11 and X-Plane 12, hey Franz, is great. MD-11 and X-Plane 12, okay. I do own it. I haven't really flown it much. The one from Rotate, yeah. I know I own it, but I've not really flown it much. Yeah, log off, thank you. I have done so. shame that we won't have suitable Microsoft Flight Sim long haul for this. Yeah, that is a shame. I agree. So you are pretty much stuck with. I mean, in P3D you have lots of options. Obviously, in X-Plane 11 at least you have eastbound several aircraft. Even I would say the A300. Or was it A3? I think the A300 would be able to do it. Here's 1,000 feet to go. Yeah, and all the the good stuff. Felis 747, MD-11. Oh, you're right. Oh, Mark, do you think so? Yeah, eastbound. You're right, Mark. Yeah, so here in Microsoft Flight Sim, PMDG, BBJ. Yeah, you're right. It could work. Yeah, but obviously, you know what, Franz? I mean, the Challenger. Here's the thing. So, Mark. Here's the thing. If one of us gets a slot, shall we take the Challenger in shared flight? What do you mean, no? What do you mean, no? Outstar. He's scared I will shout at him. I only shouted at him once or twice. And I promise I won't switch off an engine or anything like that. 6 hours would... Well, we'll take turns. But the question is it allowed? If so, let's say you have a slot. Would I be allowed to join in the flight deck if I don't have a slot? That's a good question, isn't it? So let's have a look. We are at cruise level. We're looking good on the fuel, 4.8. Remaining flight time about an hour. Fuel checkpoints. How long have we been airborne? We've been airborne for 21 minutes. So here in the sim, we were airborne at 16:03. So 16:03, and we've got Maizach coming up. That's a nice checkpoint there, Maizach. So 26, 1626 in the sim, and we're supposed to have 3.8 plus 1 ton extra, so 4.8 is our minimum value we should have there. So we got 4.8 at the moment, and at 26, that looks good. So it looks promising. Yeah, exactly, Voyager. Yeah, so one is obviously then flying, and the other one is observer. Yeah, correct. Mark, you're not getting off the hook that quickly. But the first question, Mark, is obviously, did you apply for a slot? I don't even know if you applied. Okay guys, while we have a nice relaxed cruise section here, I'm just going to dial down the sim sounds a bit more so you can hear me a bit better. Let's go through some of the specifics regarding Sarajevo, just so that we are mentally prepared for the approach later on. So, here's the PDF file that I made. If you're interested, you can download that in the announcement section on my Discord channel. No, I've not been to there recently. I've been there... you can't recall? Mark? Are you sure? I haven't been to Sarajevo. No, so not recently, but I've been there in real life a long time ago, though, on the 737. There could... well, yeah, I mean, you know, there can always be some construction on the apron.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Bajam242, thank you so much for becoming a member on my channel. And that's a Twitch Prime as well. Thank you for your support. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so taxiway 25 knot max max taxi speed, and on the apron 8 knots. I mean, it's not a big apron, is it? So we'll come to that in a second. Let's just go in general and have a look what's going on there. So of course, it's a long runway, 2,600 meters, so it's not so much the issue with the landing distance per se, if it's a dry or a wet runway. Thank you so much, Bajam. So for all the new members, guys, if you do not know my Discord channel yet, there is so once you link your Twitch account with or the YouTube account with my Discord channel, it takes a couple of minutes and then you get access to the subscriber channels. In there you have lots of downloadable workshop files like this one here, all kinds of topics that I've made over the time. So it's a good background info if you're interested. So right now, weight limits is more for the go-around gradient. So obviously, you have to take into account not just the all-engine go-around gradient, but also the engine-out climb gradient. So that's something to consider. And here's something, if you guys remind me later on, that's something that makes sense. So it's a airport that is at 2,000 feet altitude roundabout, so it's not really that high, but it's a bit higher than sea level. But I guess will still be fairly heavy by the time we get there. Yeah, about 60 tons, actually a bit more. About 62 tons, 62 tons landing weight. That's pretty high. So it does make sense to consider a PAX on APU bleed for the approach to improve the go-around performance. So that's what we try to do later on as a procedure. Consider flaps 3 carefully, especially with regards to tailwind that may be present and landing distance requirements. And also because the 1-1 profile is, so the approach profile is always at least 3.21 degrees. So that's a fairly high descent profile. So that's something you have to consider. So config 3, while it's better for the missed approach performance, you may have difficulties if it's very strong tailwind to get down within all the limits. Yep, exactly, MCK. So for both packs, there is a limit for the APU. For the bleed for both packs, 15,000 feet, one pack 20,000 feet. So in general, MCK maybe would be a good idea to kind of make a mental note saying 15,000 feet is a trigger to start the APU, and then once that's running, have the packs on the APU for that. Bajam, what's the flight plan summary program you brought up on screen a few minutes ago? Okay, so this program, I think you mean, this is called Sim Toolkit Pro. It's a free app. It's a very good app. I can highly recommend it. And yeah, that has everything you need. And as a streamer, you get the overlay on top here as well. So yeah, really nice stuff. Cool. So what else? Aircraft. Okay, so now guys, the thing is this. Because the airport is in a valley and there's no escape routes to the east or southeast, you have arrivals going 1-1 and departures going 2-9. There are no SIDs for runway 29. It's all runway 11. There's no disregard. There's no departure routes for 11. They are all departure routes 29. So just be aware of that. And that means, of course, that as you approach, you'll have, or you may have, departures waiting in the Alpha taxiway for runway 29. So that way, if you can arrange it, have your braking performance set so that you can vacate via Bravo and you don't need to do backtrack. Because of this aircraft waiting there, you've got to taxi to the turn pad, and that turn pad is only to be used at daytime as well. So the turn pad can only be used in daylight conditions. Yeah, so Bravo taxi off would be a good idea. I don't know if I have performance or landing performance here. Let me just check. It's not working here. Looks like I don't have even an airport info for that. Although I was pretty sure I have. I have not. LQSA. No, I've got no infos. Oh, that's interesting. I need to note that down. I need to make some infos for that then. Okay, so but I would guess with automatic medium, you should easily make Bravo there. Maybe even even low might work. But yeah, we'll aim for Bravo, taxi off, and then we're right at the apron. Yeah, apron's not too big, so again, 8 knots, because it's a tight apron, all fine. All good. Okay, and entry onto runway 29 is also only via taxiway Alpha. Yeah, MCK, normally, I agree, normally 45 meters would be long enough, but I'm just a bit... worried about this note here. So after landing 1-1, when the air temperature exceeds 30 degrees, all aircraft must leave runway via taxiway Alpha. When this is not possible due to other traffic, the crew will be instructed to make a U-turn using turn pad and leave runway via taxiway Bravo. Now, I don't know if that only applies when it's more than 30 degrees, i.e. if it's 29 degrees, you can do a normal U-turn without using the turn pad. So I don't know exactly where the limit comes from. But yeah, but you have to be careful. In real life, I would ask ATC. Simple as that. Good. Landing distance available. Runway 11 is 2,500, and if you do visual circling on runway 29, it's only 2,100 meters displaced threshold there. So let's go with the next page. So high terrain, obviously, around the airport. MSA is 9,100, and the highest terrain is to the south west, 7,248 feet down here. There's the airport. Now, when you have westerly winds, what happens is that at the start of the approach, you may have westerly winds, and then at the airport itself, it may be calm on the ground. And the resulting wind shift and speed rise will happen... Oh, it's cut off there. Below 500 feet. I need to change that. Below 500 feet. AGL. Right, so we've got Vienna 33.8. Fantastico. 33.8. Servus Wien, Lufthansa 1544, level 350.
Lufthansa 1544, Wien, radar contact Servus.
So 338, let's see, they normally have SEPA DLC. Lima Oscar Victor Sierra. Let's try log on.
Wien, good evening, Nordic 1868 for the 370 inbound Nipen.
Nordic 1868, Wien, radar contact.
Right, equal time point there. I am just thinking about high elevation procedure. So we're right in the 15,000 grid right now. And I think that's Klagenfurt. So beam Klagenfurt will go, or maybe even further down here. So about midpoint there. We'll return, and otherwise we'll just continue straight out. It gets lower again further to the southeast here. But right now it's 15,000, so with that weather today, 16,000 feet is the minimum we can do in case we have a decompression, engine failure, etc., etc. Good. So, where were we? Preferred runway 11, expect radar vectors after Bosna, or standard arrival routing, which would be this one here. In high traffic situations, expect delay vectors or holding at 32 DME Kilo Echo Bravo, right there, or at Timid. Expect late descent clearance due to rain and a steep approach, often with some tailwind. So yeah, just remember, kind of mentally prepare yourself that you need speed brakes maybe. When under radar vectors, expect descent clearance below MSA within 30 miles of Kilo Echo Bravo. And then you would have to use the contour layer charts here to determine your position and the safe altitudes. Cool. What else do we have? Yeah, the approaches. So your minima and the approach letter defines your minimum. So if we take the Zulu approach today, so if we were to fly that approach, we have to maintain at least a 5% climb gradient. Right, log on is accepted.
Center 52 Yankee Wien, radar config level 350.
Hey Taylor West, nice to see you. How are you doing? I know you're very busy. It's nice chatting with you, Taylor West. So, if you look at again at the Zulu approach, it has a certain departure procedure, missed approach procedure, and a minimum climb gradient you need. Also, very important to read ball notes. So for the climb gradient, 5% ball note. Let's see, ball note is up here for the missed approach, number 2. And so for our category aircraft, max speed is 160 knots. You have to do a tight turn so that you don't get into contact with these obstacles here for the missed approach. Yeah, so Taylor West, you've been to Sarajevo, right? In real life, not too long ago. Yeah. So the approaches definitely is something you have to prepare in advance. So you have Zulu minimums. Right, then you have your Yankee approach, slightly different missed approach procedure, as you can see here. All right. Yeah, also the intercept point here is Rivus. Yeah, so there's a different arc procedure. Yeah, so that's a different procedure itself in the initial part. The special we are not allowed to use, so that is kind of a strange or completely different missed approach again, but that is not approved for us at least. Yeah, then you got the RP procedure, an NDB approach, and so on. All right. Yeah, but we planned for the Zulu approach today. Cool. What else? Yeah, so if we do the Zulu approach and we would calculate, for example, with our weight, that the maximum climb gradient engine out case would be, let's say, 3%, so we can't maintain 4% or 5%, then we'll go 3% minimum, and that will be 2,450 for us today. So we can actually already enter that into the MCDU 2450. Wow, it's getting dark quickly, isn't it? It's 1640 in the sim. And the sun is setting. Blimey. The Yankee approach will bring you in high. Let's have a look again at the approaches then in more detail. So the Zulu approach has minimal levels. It's well, there's
Nordic 1868, no further ATC, Unicom, bye-bye.
So look.
Nordic Unicom for Nordic 1868, thank you for service.
So from Bosna, that's where we just start the approach. Bosna, it says 130, which sounds very high. And then you got Likvi in the sector, down 54. Hallo. Kein Problem, vielen Dank. Sieht lecker aus. Ah, okay. Danke. So 5-4, then we step down on the arc to, let's see, 16 and a half, 5-4. No, we maintain 5-4 until Rebus. Quick step down to 4,200 and then the final approach point here, or final approach fix, down to the minimums. If we fly the Yankee approach, yeah, that would be 5-4. Well, the same, Rebus, 5-4 and then 4-2. No, we're not, Danny. MCK, I will send the greetings to Miss Blackbox later. Yeah, it's a nice salad. I haven't tried that one yet. Hang on, it's I can see that. It's got tomato. It's got chickpeas. It's got carrots. It's got celery. Crunchy. So, no, so the routing takes us to Bosna, and from there we'll start the standard approach. But we'll take the Zulu. You want a steak? I can imagine why, but yeah, we try to cut down on meat. Not completely, but we have reduced it quite drastically. It is so hokies. I mean, the chicken peas, they have protein, so that's always the important part in a salad. Have some protein, so that afterwards you feel satisfied and you feel, you know, that you won't get hungry too soon. The meat and the current gas prices don't go well together. Well, yeah, lots of things don't go well with high gas prices, unfortunately. So at the moment, let's see, what's our fuel state? So come on, let me get Atsu. AUC menu, received messages. So that's all fine. Cool. Fuel check. We passed Kusip at Raditz at 1635. Do we have a fuel checkpoint there? We do. So we're supposed to be Raditz at 1634.
Stand Echo 8.
And so we were there at 1635, so 1 minute better, and the fuel check was 4.5.
Lufthansa 1544, leaving my airspace, monitor Unicom 122.8. Bye bye.
Thank you much. 122.8, Lufthansa 1544. So, connection, and we'll disconnect from CPDLC. Yeah, so 4.5 is what we logged regarding fuel, and we were supposed to have Yeah, 4.5 exactly. So 3.5 plus the 1 ton of extra fuel that we've taken on, so 4.5. It adds up nicely. Good fuel at time check. Even missing dinner. Well, when I start streaming, it's about 7 in Germany, 7 o'clock. So I'm not really hungry at that time. Yeah, normally we eat salad around 8 in the evening. So that's why my wife is so lovely and brings me salad up to my room for an in-flight meal.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience.
Hey.
Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served.
Hey Meccan.
Thank you.
And so there we go, Meccan. Look at that sunset with your resub there coming in. Thank you much for the 8 months. I hope you're doing well, Meccan. Here's the last sun rays with the sun setting. Which one? So, okay, it's called Alpha Max is called Sim Toolkit Pro. Let me just type that for you. Sim Toolkit Pro. It's a free app. You can download it, and it's got lots and lots of features. You can find real-world routings. You can have all the chart. It has a VFR flight planning, which is completely new. Well, not completely new, but that's a new feature. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff. So, and since it's free, you can try it out without any risk. Cool. Too steep path ahead. Yes, I thought so. That the Airbus would not be happy with those steep descents. I'm going to enter the threshold. Runway 11. That's 230 miles to go. Hey Magus, wie geht's dir? I'm sure Magus, you're looking forward to the weekend. Here, that's something I've mentioned it before. I've never seen that in any other flight sim, but that is just like in real life. That's the shadow of the Earth reflecting in the atmosphere. So you have a sun setting there, and so the sun rays are casting a shadow in the Earth's atmosphere. It looks beautiful in real life, and actually looks exactly like this. It's really fascinating to see that. I'm doing well, Magus. Thanks for asking. Yes. All good. Yeah, exactly. Wochenende. Finally. Good. Let's go through a detailed approach briefing then. Before we do the normal briefing, let me just have a look at the approach again. So, planning for the Isla Zulu, runway 11 via Bosna. Then we've got Likvi. So let me try to find those waypoints. So flight plan. Bosna, Likvi. Now, Likvi, it has that limit 130 correctly set. And from there, how many track miles do we have? 6, 7, 14, 15, 20, 27, 30 track miles. So I tell you what, at Likvi, I want to be maybe flaps 220 knots, config 1, so that I can use some speed brakes without going into VLS. Yeah, just trying to plan ahead a little bit. So from there we go on to the ARC. So Likvi, then we descend down to 5,400. Then on to the ARC. 14 DME ARC Bravo Hotel Sierra from the ILS DME to Rivus, and then from Rivus It's a final descent at 3.2 degrees. So first of all, step down to 4,200, and again, then from there, minus 3.2 degrees. Set to our minimum if we set 2,440, I think it was. Yeah, 2,450 actually. And then a missed approach. Now this is the critical part. So we climb on heading 113 degrees, runway heading to 6. But we climb to 6,000 feet. However, crossing 2,750 feet, that's only like 300 feet above the ground, and not earlier than the missed approach point, which is here at 1.5 from the ILS. We turn left on a track of 313 degrees and intercept outbound 343 degrees from the India Lima beacon. We do that to 12 DMEs from the ILS and then back onto the ARC. Unless we have ATC, that gives us something else. But at the moment, I don't think so. No, all good. One may be coordinate in the FMS will calculate a different DME than what's... Okay, so that's weird though, Tail West. How come? But I mean, I would use the raw data indication anyways. So I wouldn't use the FMS version. I'd just look at the primary flight display for that. Okay, so yeah, so Danny, what they did in this case, they probably got radar vectors. Ah, okay, use the Bravo Hotel Sierra for the emergency turn procedure. Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so you kind of draw circles on an nav display, and they have a different... Alright, log off. They have different distance then, for some reason. Okay. Yeah, so what happens when you get radar vectors? Obviously, the controller has what they call minimum radar vector altitudes. Alright, so if you look at the obstacle situation there, you have an obstacle at 4,200 feet. So, and there you got one at 3,100. The rest is a white area. So if you're under radar vectors with a positive confirmed position, then the controller can take you down to lower altitudes, so below that. But if you're on the standard arrival, with that restriction, you have to maintain that restriction, simply because there's no controller looking after your aircraft and making sure as well that you're not flying into a mountain. Yeah, so that's why the Wizz Air will get radar vectors, shortcut maybe a bit, and then yeah, they get lower a lot earlier, which helps obviously. So for us today with standard profile, it's going to be tough getting down, definitely. Cool. Right, let's get all of the weather infos, and then let's prepare for the approach. My flight. Arrival. Let's look at the METAR. So at the moment, 180 at 1, not much wind, so we can say that's calm. Cab okay, 11 degrees and 24. So calm wind, I just put that in here. And the transition altitude is 10,000, I guess. Yeah, so level will be 110, let's say. Minimum config full for sure, 3.2 degree profile. RATNAV, so we need India Lima, beacon for sure. I'm gonna put that there. That's 405. So I'm going to switch that to ADF. Blimey, I didn't think it's going to be that that dark. I honestly thought we would land in a bit of daylight left. But I tell you what we'll do. Well, actually, the thing is, shall we land at daytime? so that you guys see the terrain. Better not see the terrain. I'll tell you what though, you know, it's not completely full moon, but it's pretty light. So we know that in Microsoft we will actually see the light of the mountains quite well. So yeah, all right, let's stay here at the time that we have. So we're not going to cheat. That's all fine. Track miles, 172. Top ascent coming up at 1708 in about 10 minutes from now. Fantastic. Let's do the landing performance. So we go to... Yeah, we're going to make a... what was it? Bravo taxiway, wasn't it? Yeah, Bravo. We'll make it. It's a dry runway. It's going to be runway 11. Applying the METAR. Landing weight is 62 tons. If we do low, it says 2,000 meters. Yeah, so let's do automatic medium so that we catch that taxiway. Bravo here. Just to make sure. Flap full, auto thrust has got to be off. And we can't, interesting enough, we can't set APU bleed on, or PAX on APU bleed. In the real EFB, we can do that. So we have a better climb gradient calculation. And all right, but yeah, all good. It's got plenty of margins, about 1,000 meter margin now. Well, I'd say 900 if we are. Take the factor, so 900 meters stop margin, all good. Right, let's have a look one more time at our current grid altitude. So here we are, it's 7.1. And then it'll go up again to 8.7, and here, of course, around Sarajevo, then it's 10.2, but that's Bosna there. And yeah, there's Bosna. And from there, we're on the arrival chart. Anyhow, with level 130. Cool. Let's set up all the charts. Well, Sapphire Wave, there's a lot of things that go into, you know, the question when you're going to have actual fog and when not. So maybe being higher up, I don't know, has an influence on that. So the air pressure itself. But yeah, sometimes obviously if you watch the spread and you would say, hey, maybe we're going to have the risk of fog developing, and then it doesn't, well, I'm happy with that. But in general, you're completely correct, Sapphire. So with these conditions, no wind, cav okay, and that kind of temperature dew point spread, so very, very little spread. Yeah, there's definitely a chance of getting some fog. Yeah. I love the clouds. It was really pretty. Right, auto brake low. So, anything else? Got all the water setup. Yeah, there's one VOR. It was Kilo Echo Bravo as well, wasn't it? Yeah, so just as another reference, put that in here. Yeah, terrain ahead. So I have my clear criticism against Microsoft still. I say that, but I also point out the stuff that I really like. Hey, Sim Caesar. Sim Caesar, thank you much for the raid. We'll welcome everyone from Sim Caesar's stream. I hope you had a wonderful stream, Sim Caesar. I hope you're doing well. And Sim Caesar, are you planning to join the Cross the Pond event? Yeah, we're currently flying to Sarajevo. Interesting airport here in Europe. I'm not sure if Sim Caesar has actually visited Sarajevo here in the sim yet. But yeah, it's a little bit elevated and it has lots of mountains around it. And for us, it's actually certified pilots only into that airport. You don't have to hang on, didn't you already fly across the pond? Well, I don't know if I have a slot. So there's a slot lottery going on because so many people are joining or want to join. So yeah, it's not 100% sure that I get a slot anyhow. Hey Rusty, how you doing? Now, for my latest video regarding crosswind landings, I did actually a couple of approaches. And in the FENIX, I've done many approaches in the X-Plane 12 as well. And hands down, X-Plane 12 will give you a much more realistic feel and experience when it comes to crosswind landings. So I was able to apply these procedures. And it was a lot better to land in X-Plane 12 than in Microsoft Flight Sim. But the difficulty is you don't know what's actually Microsoft Flight Sim fault and what is maybe an add-on maker fault, because they can tune some stuff. So it's a tough call to make. But yeah, overall, the aerodynamics, inertia, it's just a lot better in X-Plane than in Microsoft. But I will also agree, if you don't use orthos in X-Plane, then the scenery looks pretty bad. Didn't some people have slots from other last? I don't know. Terrain ahead. Oh yeah, Danny. These approaches are really challenging. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to put TCAS to below. So I'm now scanning 9,900 feet below me. Just make sure there's no one on VATSIM here below me. And then we'll start descent down to 130. Hey Mathematics, how are you doing? Yeah, on the next flight we'll have a look at the new update regarding Canada. It was a flying from Vancouver to Ketchikan. They have an interesting RNF approach there. Now, all of you that have watched my video will know what this arrow means. Mathematics, you're fine. That's good to hear. And weekend coming up, right? Oh yeah. Regarding P3D, now that's a piece of news that got me listening. I don't know the name of the add-on maker, but someone was making a 747-200 for P3D and something else, and they've dropped it. So they said because of the bad sales numbers for P3D, they dropped their development for P3D, and they're now concentrating... Oh, A300, yes, you're right, Gifts back, yeah. Just Flight, correct, Mrs. Hadley. So it was Just Flight, and they dropped their developments for P3D and said they want to be concentrating more on Microsoft Flight Sim, which is good news as well. So if they bring out a 747-200 in Microsoft Flight Sim or an A300, that would definitely be also good news. But I think Any Builds are planning to bring out their A300, right? Or was it A310 maybe? Yeah, Rusty, I don't know exactly, you know, who's doing what at the moment. But I just heard that Just Flight is dropping P3D, so that's something. It's just another piece of puzzle regarding P3D. And even though in the past they have surprised us with further developments, I don't know. It's become so quiet. Shame that explain how's the best flight dynamics yet most accurate. Yeah, I know. But to be fair, I mean, X-Plane 12, they've also had an update where they have improved on the performance. So it's a bit better for me, performance-wise. However, I tried it out today in X-Plane and Orbix England, so south. So True Earth South, and it is still a bit laggy in these areas, but it's gotten better, and yeah, we'll see. Development continues there, and it does look nice. It looks okay, and the clouds are not as good as in Microsoft, but not bad either. Okay, so we just reached the optimum path now. Thrust idle. Blue, 130. Flight Lure says the A310 isn't going to be in SU-11, but that's from Any Builds, correct? Because I know that Any Builds are making the A310 then. Nice. Cool, briefing. So, we are flying the ILS Zulu approach via Bosna, standard approach. Sector 9,100 feet, and we're flying the ILS Zulu 11. The approach minimum is 2,450 feet. Go around is straight ahead, and when we pass 2,750 feet, we turn left, track 313, and we'll intercept the 343 bearing from the India Lima NDB, and then continue back onto the arc for another approach. Extra fuel right now is about half an hour, 800 kilograms, so that's good for a second approach. Okay, terrain ahead. Yeah, have a good weekend. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for hanging out. We'll fly the approach in flight director mode, obviously. We're using a automatic low approach, flaps 4 idle. Well, actually no, we're going to use reverse, full reverse. And we'll plan to exit via Bravo. Hotspots, no, it's just straight onto the apron. Max taxi speed apron is 8 knots. And special, well, high altitude, high terrain, Well, that's more in the threat area. But yeah, one special thing we're going to do is in 15,000 feet, you've got to remind me, guys, we have to start the APU, because we do want to use APU bleed for the packs, so that we have more go-around performance with the engines. It is Lily. Lilo says it is INI. Okay, fantastic. Oh, nice. Yeah, the non-glass cockpit version. That's cool. For the real pilots. Like me. So, anything else we have? Threats, yeah, high terrain. Interesting. Missed approach procedure. Full concentration on that. Oh yeah, and 3.21 degree glide slope. Steeper than normal glide slope. That's also a threat. Okay, that looks good. 130 by Liqui. And then we gotta really descend. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna do the following. If I put not only the altitude restriction here, I'm gonna put that exactly at, not plus, but exactly at 130 and 210 knots. That way, the FMCC will calculate a deceleration point as well. And now it's gonna say obviously that we're a bit higher in the approach. For that deceleration, I'm going to help a little bit out with the speed brakes. And that's what we mean by energy management, right? So with these figures, 220 knots or 210 knots at Liqui, 13,000, we may be a little bit on the high side. I agree with the FMS on that. So the earlier you can correct these deviations, the better it is. And Bruno, hello to you. How was your work week? Megas, if I do, I'll give you a shout. The thing is that I will be on holiday from about the 24th of November onwards until end of the year. And I'm also on the reserve list for a 747 transition in December, which I don't think will be pulled, but I just got an email that it may be... that I have to be ready for it, let's put it this way. Although it's unlikely, but if other people drop out, then I'll get a slot for the transition. Alright, speed brakes back in, onto the path. Yeah, 747. But hey, I mean, so we're all on course for the plan. My last 747 flight. I'll invite all of you to join me. That would be cool. Needs to be on a 777X. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. Yeah. Okay, let's switch on the seatbelt signs. Sorry about traffic. Lufthansa 1544 is just past Bosna for the Isle Zulu approach, 11 in Sarajevo. It is dark. Blimey. Hey Nico, good evening. How you doing? Nice to see you.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first
Sim Caesar, thank you so much.
Complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Another gifted sub by Sim Caesar. Thank you so much for that, Sim Caesar. And again, a big shout out. I'm sure my moderators gave you already a shout out. Guys, if you do not know Sim Caesar yet, please check out his channel. You will love it here on Twitch. Right, so I'm still trying to find a victim who will fly across the pond with me if we get a slot. We're thinking about shared flight. And I mean, the 747-200 for the feelers would be brilliant if that would work. But that's risky. Oh yeah, APU, good call. Good call. Let's start the APU. Der Klenk. Perfect, thank you. Well, Mark said no. He was like... Oh, that was a Challenger though. I said, how about we do a shared cockpit across the pond in a Challenger? He was like, what, 6 hours with you? I don't know. I don't know what his issue is. Right, we're slowing down. And maintaining 130 until that waypoint. And then we go down to 54. Mark as a flight engineer. I'm not so sure if that's a good idea. Art Star. Right, green dot is 210. That's good. So the plan to go flaps 1 here is actually good. So flaps 1, speed is check, flaps 1. Just gonna go 210 knots. And we're still in Alt Star. I'm going to wait for Alt. There we go. So now we go 5-4, descend, Alt Blue, and speed brakes out. It's going to be the bleeds on packs. So APU bleed on, or packs on APU bleed because of the required go-around performance. So let's have a look here. Cross bleed valve opening, and now both packs are supplied by the APU bleed. Fantastic. Oist, I have installed it. I have not fancy. I've not tried it yet. I need to try. I've installed it. Installation was okay, but I haven't done a flight just yet. Right, I'm going to go with open descent here. Thrust idle open descent. Doesn't make sense to go speed brakes and manage descent. Right, passing transition. QNH is 1024. So set QNH. QNH is cross-checked, passing 10,500 feet now is checked. And I'll do another update of the METAR. Just make sure we have the current QNH here. Yeah, still 1024. Here we go. So, yeah, we're at 9.5, and we're really battling to get down. It says it's making it just past Rebus, so... but we're still quite fast. So let's go flaps 2 then. Not yet, but once we are below DFE next. Just so to add drag, otherwise we can't make the approach. Right, flaps 2, speed is check, flaps 2. So that should add a lot of drag, slow down the aircraft, and get us down to 5.4. And let's switch on landing lights. Sarajevo traffic, Lufthansa 1544 is approaching Rivos for the ILS Zulu 11 in Sarajevo. Alright, there we go. Speed brake coming in. Slowing down a bit more. And next limit is 4.2, 4,200 for the final descent. Well, let's continue with the speed brake. We need to get down. So here we are. Yeah, 4.2 at 7.5. Let's do lock blue initially. Yeah, well that's fine. We are managing. Now we can see as we get lower, here's the runway, and then you get an impression of the terrain around the airfield. The Yankee's worse than this. I wonder why you got a Yankee approach. Is that the normal approach? So we now got glide slope blue, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1+2. Glide slope captured. We can set the missed approach altitude now of 6,000 feet. Is set. Speed brake back in, obviously. So we'll check 4.2 at the final fix here. 7.5 DME from Bravo Hotel Sierra. That's indicating nicely. And the elevation of the airport or runway is 1,650 feet. Well, it's initially checked, but there's high terrain or higher terrain below us there. It's not 2,500 regarding threshold yet. But just going to check that radar altimeter comes alive. Speed is managed. And final fix, 4,200 at 7.5 DME. Final altitude is checked. Sarajevo traffic, Lufthansa 1544 is on a 7 miles final. Runway 11 in Sarajevo. Oh, I did, you're right. Speed budget. Yeah, you are correct. Good catch. I see my first officers are awake today. I like it. I love it when people listen and then find out when I'm setting something incorrectly. Nice. It was a test, yes. Of course. Everything's a test here. Flaps 3, speed is checked. Flaps 3. Alright, all the lights on. And flaps full, speed is checked. Flaps full, VLS check. 131. Looking good. A bit of tailwind from time to time, but nothing major. Land checklist. Oh, actually, hang on. We didn't do the approach checklist. Test. BARF, QNH 1024. Set. Seatbelts on. Minimum. Baro 2450 feet. Auto brake. Okay, that's why. Otherwise, we may have caught that auto brake medium. Auto brake medium. Engine mode selector is normal. Approach checklist completed. Landing checklist. EKM landing no blue. Let's go. Manual thrust, manual flight. Beautiful. Look at that lighting, moon. I didn't hear any other traffic, so that looks all fine.
100 above.
Beautiful evening approach here. I love it. Everything's so calm.
Minimum.
Continue. Anybody else had issues with the FENIX? People are reporting, like, you know, the aircraft falling out of the sky at 50 feet, etc. Or becoming, I don't know, somehow uncontrollable. Megas it is, yeah, I know, right?
500.
Magus, my wife came in the other day and she said, do you need all that stuff? And I said, don't touch it. It's mine.
300. 200.
Slightly high, correct.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Bit of upset line. Come on. Oh, we're floating.
10.
Come on.
5.
Oh, that's a terrible landing. Oh. Spoilers. Reverse idle. Decel. Here comes Bravo. You see, that's what I mean. It's 237 landing rate, but it's a bad landing. It's terrible. So people always go for the landing rate. You know, smooth landing, but it's not a good landing. That was not good. That was way too floaty. Right, APU is already running. That's nice. Sarajevo traffic, Lufthansa 1544 is, or has vacated runway 11. Now, GSX, we'll just stop here. Let me get TCAS off. Let me get predicted wind shear radar off. And after landing checklist, radar predicted wind shear system is off. GSX. I just want to see with the follow me. Gate. Let's go.
The requested position is already assigned to
Oh.
another aircraft.
No. No, other aircraft assigned. How does GSX know? Follow me? Yes, please. Come on. Right. Oh, I can see him there. There he comes. That's 16 seconds arrival time. Are you kidding me? What is this? Right. I'm just going to follow that guy. Blindly. The flashing lights is cool though. I love that effect. Yeah, well it's the landing lights still on, so... No. Oh, come on. Oh, he just flashed his ones there. Oh, look at that. Lovely. That's really good. Cool. What, here? No. That's way too far back. Yeah, right. Please cut engines. No. The jetway won't connect if we stop
Good
here.
night,
Lilo,
Black
thank you
Box.
much. Let's make a compromise. Let's stop here. Lilo, take care. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Parker brake is on. APU bleed is already on. Gonna switch off the engines here. Alright, beacon off and seatbelts off. Yeah, engines are off. What's it doing now? These noises. Yeah, I did not expect anything else. GSX memes live on. Absolutely. But hey, it's still fun sometimes.
The boarding requested.
Parking checklist. Where are we? Parking. There we are. Parking brake. Our truck parking brake is set. What on earth are you doing? All right. So engines off. Wing lights off. Fuel pumps to go. Fuel pumps off. Parking check is completed. Well, there we go. Welcome to Sarajevo. Now I can give you a beautiful view daytime because somebody is coming into land, and it's a honor to have watch his landing here on stream.
Passengers deboarding starting.
There he is. Huh? I just saw him. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Nice. So, next flight. I will stop the stream and restart the stream. And we're flying from Vancouver to Ketchikan. It's about 1.5 hours flight time. Now I'm happy to stay awake quite long today because tomorrow evening I've got a night flight. So I've got to get into training of staying up late. Yeah. What could possibly go wrong? So we're flying from Vancouver to Ketchikan, and the flight time is about an hour 20 or something. Yeah, Lee. Yeah, welcome back then in 10 minutes. An hour 28 minutes. So that's fine then. Is the PMG 737-800 worth it? Or better wait for the 777? It depends on how you know, how much you like the PMG 737. So that's a question, first of all. It's I would say on the same level as the P3D version. So if you enjoy the P3D version, then you'll enjoy it here in Microsoft Flight Sim for sure. It's got the same bugs, so you don't have to worry about, you know, floating stuff and that sort of stuff. So there's nothing you have to change in the way you fly the PNG. Hey! What a timing, Ted. Ted, thank you so much. That is really, really kind. I was waiting for the jingle to come up here. Our friend and gentleman Ted Barker has donated £20. And he writes, clear skies and safe landings, best wishes, Ted. Thank you so much, Ted. Man, where is that guy? I thought he was like 2 miles, 3 miles.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Decalidos, thank you so much for the 10 months. And here comes the message from Mr. Ted Barker as well. Thank you again, Ted. That's really kind of you. And I'm sure, Ted, you're looking forward to the weekend as well, right? You going out, Ted? Nice little trip, or staying home this time? Ah, there he is. Look at that. Coming in now. The EFB will come sometime in the future. PNG says soon, yeah. I don't know what the issue is with the EFB, to be fair. Because we have lots of add-ons where the EFB is working. Ah, that was the Transavia. Ah, lovely. Oh, greaser. GG. Well done, sir. All right, I showed you the airport here, the surroundings, and now daytime you can see the mountains. So you may say, hey, you know what? It's not that high. Now remember that the problem is always your performance with one engine out. So imagine you are just prior the minimums, have an engine failure, you get unstable, you go around single engine, and the aircraft then climbs with, let's say, 300 feet per minute. Yeah. Victory. And then you go left, and you look at these. So if you go 300 feet per minute climb, then these little mountains, these little hills, actually are then conflicting. So that's the reason why you have those special engine out procedures and a higher minimum even, so that when you go around you have more chance of clearing these.
Autopilot.
And again, Ted donating another £20. Good Lord, Ted. Ted, way too generous. Looking forward to our next meetup. Thank you so much. Oh, that's really, really kind. Next round is on me. Okay, Ted, thank you so much. Oh my god. Yeah, and also remember that with the engine failure below maneuvering speed, you're limited to 15 degrees bank. So you're not going 25 or 30 degree bank, you're actually only going 15 degrees bank. So suddenly, you know, even these obstacles here, these mountains come into play. So definitely the issue here. Right, there's Sarajevo behind the hills here. Yeah. And that's the airport, Sarajevo. Very nice indeed. You get the point, don't you? Nice. Cool. Right. 5-minute break, ladies and gentlemen. And big thank you to the amazing support. The incredible hype train at the beginning. Then the gifted subs and the donations. Ted Barker, thank you so much for those as well. Have a great weekend, Ted. I'm sure you're out to do some hiking, jogging. Oh, and again, they're deboarding here through the jetway. That's actually working really well. I've not got any profiles loaded here. It's weird. I know that it probably isn't that easy to program this so to get it working. And last time we saw people clipping through the top here, for example, but that's working nicely now. Love it. Cool. Right, my moderators, as always, thank you so much for all the help, and I'm sure some of you will be with me on the next flight, also on VATSIM. And again, we're flying from Vancouver to Ketchikan, hopefully with some good weather and some good views of the scenery. Nice. Okay, see you in 5 minutes, guys. Take care.